Good afternoon. The reflections or the musings of Winston covering the week of April the 12th to the 16th. And basically, we had a spectacular week that just finished last week. We had, where did we start? We had inflation numbers. Inflation numbers were very good, no surprises. Some people are worried. Most people like us are thinking, listen, whatever noise is going to be very temporary, at least now, because of the issue of COVID. So there's a lot of relative prices like, used cars and others that are very affected, like, airfares, hotels, big drop, used cars, big hike because there's no cars available, etc., etc. So, but in any event, the numbers came very well. Number two, jobless claims came at 576,000, the lowest ever. The market was expected around 700,000. But the most important among them all, there were three more elements, retail sales. They came at 9.8% growth. The market was expected around 5%. Yes, it might have been the stimulus checks or this and that, but still they were very, very strong in all categories. So importantly as well, they were very good retail sales. So positive on that side with the retail sales, as we're saying. Also, the consumers still have 5.4 trillions in banking accounts. This is not just in the U.S., but in the U.S. and other developed economies like Europe, the United Kingdom, and Japan. So it's a lot of money to be spent. And finally, the bond market was very calm, even rally. Even with all this news of strong growth and everything, we had a good rally on the treasury markets, putting the 10-year at 156. So clearly, very good and not surprising. We had a great week where the Dow Jones put 400 points. Or 1.2%, the S&P 1.4%, and the Nasdaq 1.1%. So as we go, again, and people might be worried about valuations, bubbles, SPACs, Bitcoin, and other calamities, the reality for now is that the numbers are the numbers, and that's what we had. And also, at least in the U.S., great success in vaccination, approaching almost 40% in the United States, at least with one shot, and we have a drop in infections. Not huge, but important. Not the same around the rest of the world. Unfortunately, Europe and Asia and Latin America with very bad numbers, and in many cases having to enforce some serious lockdowns again. But at least in the U.S., the numbers were good, and that was there. We add to that we have kind of a full report on the banks, and the banks had very good numbers, also surprising the analysts. And again, what the market has discounted is what the analysts have said, but then the numbers are the numbers again, and the numbers came better than the analysts. There was a lot of recovery of credit loss provisions. That's positive. The banks were very cautious last year, Q1, when COVID started, taking a lot of provision, thinking that they were going to lose a lot of money. Granted, a lot of those losses had been absorbed by the government, and which we will have to pay eventually in taxes or with more debt. But at least the private sector did not suffer the losses. So positive on that side. So in that collection, we have a lot way to celebrate or think that there were good and positive numbers. We have Coinbase going public. Basically, this is the exchange that trades most of the cryptocurrencies in the United States. They have about 11% market share of all crypto trading, but it's a combination of an exchange and your broker, because it serves as an exchange for trading, but also you can have a direct account and buy your own crypto there. And apparently had other services too. So it's the first real play that investors have if you want to play the crypto business without buying a Bitcoins yourself. So very interesting, a lot of media coverage. We will be talking about that. We will be covering about that. Actually, there was a very good article in Barron's if you want to go and take a look at that. Other news, NVIDIA, one of the titans, one of the 800-pound gorillas in semiconductors, announced that they're going to get into the CPU business. Why? Because all the biggies, Amazon, Facebook, Google, are buying CPUs. They are building huge data centers, anticipating that 5G will create an enormous demand for data and speed, games and other stuff. So as I said, they're building the stadium. Hopefully they will come. And NVIDIA got into that business, which is good news and bad news for Intel and Advanced Micro, the two players. Bad news because the 800-pound gorilla got into the room. Good news, it validates that that's the place that you want to be. And then to finalize, we had this week a lot of earnings coming our way. We have IBM, American Airlines, Netflix, one of our favorites, Bank of America. Good collection of many, many companies starting tomorrow. We will be closely watching and reporting, but the big ones, the big gorillas are coming next week when we're going to have the Facebooks, the Amazons, the Apples, the big names, the big leaders of the market will give us the guidance where the market will go. If they report better than expected, we expect the market to do well. If not, we will have to analyze. That's all we have. I hope you have a great week. And remember, for our clients, every day at 8:30 from New York, live on Zoom, interactive, talking about the market. More information in our page, winston.capital. Have a great week.